So welcome to acid, bases and salt. In the part 3, we were discussing about different indicators and what are the different types of chemical reactions of acid bases. And today we are going to see how this pH has been used in our day-to-day daily life. Why the pH is important, how the pH play a major role in our health, in the soil pH, and in a different application. That is what we are going to learn today. So in the last class, let us recall what you have learned in the last class. So in the last class, we learned about acids react with metal carbonates to form salt, carbon dioxide gas, and water. So why do they release carbon dioxide gas? In the sense, metal carbonates are there, they release the carbon dioxide gas. This carbon dioxide gas comes out as a brisk effervescence and it extinguishes the fire. That is how we identify that the given gas is carbon dioxide gas. And the second thing is that bases don't react with metal carbonates because metal carbonates are basic in nature. So both the bases they don't react with each other. That is the chemical property of base with metal carbonate. Third point, acids dissolve in water to form hydronium ion. As we all know, when acid is added to the water or water to acid is added, they release a hydronium ion. These hydronium ions are highly exothermic in nature and they release the heat energy. And there is a safety measures why we should always add acid to the water but not water to the acid. We know that acids are more denser than the water. So when you add acid to the water, acid get into the water and they liberate hydronium ion. These hydronium ion heat energy may get spread all over the water molecule. That is the reason we should always add acid to the water but not water to the acid. In case when you are adding water to the acid, the water stays on the top of the acid that leads to the formation of more hydronium ion. These hydronium ions are highly exothermic in nature, so it may splash out of the container and it may cause a severe burns when it falls on your skin. So that is why we are avoiding, we should not add water to the acid, but we should always add acid to the water. That was the point what we learned. And we also saw that acids are good conductors of electricity because all the acids consist of H plus ion concentration. These H plus ions enable the movement of electron in the electrolysis process. So that is the reason acids are good conductors of electricity. In case of base, they have hydroxide ion, so they may not able to conduct the electricity. That is why we call bases are poor conductors of electricity. And we also saw the last part is about neutralization reaction. So what is neutralization reactions? When acid and base added together, they neutralize the effect of acid as well as the base to bring the salt and also the water content. This water is formed by the H plus from the acid and OH minus from the base. So when there is a combination of this H plus and then the OH minus, it results in the formation of water molecule. That is the reason the reaction between acid and base is called as neutralization reactions. We also saw that when you are adding strong acid with a strong base, it results in the formation of neutral salt and water. Strong acid and weak base has given the acidic salt. Strong base with weak acid has given the basic salt. Weak acid and weak base results in the formation of a neutral salt. So depending upon the strength of the acid and the strength of the base, the acidic and basic strength of a salt is also determined. So remember that all the salt is not neutral. There is acidic salt also is there, basic salt is also is there. So that is what we discussed in the last class. So now we are moving to the part 4. So we know what is neutralization reactions. How this neutralization reactions very useful in reducing the stomach acidity. That is what we are going to see now. So first let us try to understand what is acidity, what is happening with our stomach. We all know that in the stomach before the food get into the stomach, it travels along with the esophagus. So it is the food tract that carry the food items from the mouth and it sent to the stomach. So when you come to this part of the body, that is the esophagus, you have a certain kind of muscle. Those muscles are called a sphincter muscle. Anyway, we are not going much to the biology, just for your understanding. This sphincter muscle, especially this part, So we'll close the food item once they release into the stomach, and the inner lining of the stomach as the lining, that inner lining of the stomach helps in the secretion of a dilute hydrochloric acid. So if you look at this inner lining of the stomach part, they help in the secretion of dilute hydrochloric acid to prevent the acidic effect of our stomach. The stomach is covered with the inner wall, so the acid present in the stomach will not rupture the inner wall of the stomach. Please understand, acids are produced but they have the protective layer. Our stomach has a protective layer that can protect the tissues or muscles from the acid. So this hydrochloric acid will be get mixed with the food item, and they further carry on with the digestion. And how this acid is getting created in the sense, when you have the excess amount of acid, that is what is called acidity. This excess amount of acid has been caused for a various reasons. When you have been taking more spicy food, when you have different timing in taking your lunch, breakfast and the dinner, your habit of eating, all those things determine the acidity. So once acid in the stomach get increases, it may try to come up with the esophagus. That is only is called as heartburn. It will give the burning sensation to the people, and automatically they will get producing gas, bad breath, stomach ache and other symptom. This condition of the stomach is called as acidity. It is also called as indigestion. So it is caused by the hydrochloric acid coming in contact with the sensitive and protective lining of the digestive system. It is called mucosa. The stomach acid breaks down the lining, leading to the irritations and inflammation, which can be very painful. So this is the acidity, stomach acidity. That is how it occurs. Very simple. The inner lining of the stomach secretes hydrochloric acid for the digestion, but in case if it is secretes more amount of hydrochloric acid, they rupture the inner wall of the stomach and causes the severe burn. So this process is called as acidity. So how this neutralization reaction has been used to cure the acidity, or just to come out of the acidity problem, that is what we are going to just see it. And I will show you a video how this acidity is happening nowadays. Commonly all the people have this acidity problem, irrespective of the age. Even at the age of 30 to 40, 50, 60, this acidity is happening. So it is also depending upon the quantity of food, quality of the food, and the timing of the food is most important. So these are all the various reasons how this stomach acidity has been getting caused. Actually, this is the common problem of the people who are most of the people are suffering for this acidity. Once this acid, once it is trying to come out on the esophagus, it will, that is called as acid reflux. No, they will try to get on a vomit, or they'll get a burning sensation throughout this esophagus. And another thing is that this esophagus does not carry the any protective layer as a stomach acid. So what will happen? Automatically the food pipe will start to damage. This problem in medical term, it is also called as GERD. That is GERD, gastro esophagus reflection disease. So this problem can be rectified by using the base. So that is what the uses of a neutralization reaction. So how to reduce this acidity? Stomach acidity is neutralized by using antacids. So antacids are not acid, they are the base. So these bases, they react with stomach acid and neutralize the acidic content of the stomach. So that is how neutralization reaction is useful in reducing the acidity of the stomach. It can be represented in a simple way. The stomach acid, it is hydrochloric acid, and antacid, it is a base. And when the antacid is reacting with the stomach acid, that result in the formation of neutral salt and also the water content. And what are antacids? So if you look at antacids, they are the class of medicine that neutralize the acid in the stomach. The common antacids that is available in the market, that is available in the medical shop, in the sense it is a sodium bicarbonate, we also call that is as a baking soda, and calcium carbonate, aluminum compound, and magnesium hydroxide. A very common antacid that has been used for a very long period of time is milk of magnesia. It is nothing but a magnesium hydroxide. So this magnesium hydroxide, when once it has been taken in your body, it get into the stomach and they react with hydrochloric acid of the stomach and neutralize the acidic effect and bring back to the neutral conditions. So once you obtain the neutral conditions, that helps in the further digestions. So that is how stomach acidity has been neutralized with the antacid. Okay, so understand these are all the common antacids that has been used. And the milk of magnesia, it is nothing but a magnesium hydroxide. So these are all the some of the product what is available in the medical shop. They some doctors suggest Gaviscon and Gelusil. That Gelusil is available in the form of tablet and in the form of syrup, Alka-Seltzer. So these are all the few common item what is commonly available in the medical shop. So without the doctor suggestions, don't get directly consuming these antacids, because antacids, since it is a base, they also have the other side effect in the body, so it should not be taken frequently without a doctor's suggestion. So please always refer the doctors for your acidity problem before you consume this product directly from the medical shop, because it also has the other side effects. So this is how the neutralization for the stomach acidity. Okay, so let us move to the next applications. So how this tooth decay will be prevented by using this neutralization reactions or by knowing the pH value. Generally, our tooth has been made by calcium hydroxyapatite. So it is a one kind of calcium phosphate, Ca3PO4 twice. That is the formula for calcium phosphate. Maybe I'll write it here. So our teeth enamel has been covered by this calcium phosphate. It is Ca3PO4 twice. So this is the hard substance that is covered on our tooth enamel. This helps in preventing the damages of the teeth. So this is generally a base. You all know that calcium phosphate. It is a base. It is also called as calcium hydroxyapatite. So it is a crystalline form of calcium phosphate, a hardest substance in the body. It does not dissolve in water, but it is corroded when the pH in the mouth is below 5.5. We know that when the pH is 5.5, it will represent the weak acid. So once this acidic conditions, when it is created in the tooth, it will start to decay, because acid will react with the base and they damages the enamel surface of the tooth. I have shown two picture here. One image, it is very clear how the normal tooth look like it. There is no cavity, there is no damages. But in another tooth, you can see the black color substances. It means that when the mouth is becoming more acidic, sour in taste, you will able to see that is acid present in the mouth will react with enamel part of the tooth and it will start to decay. So that is how tooth decay has been created. So this is also the reaction between acid and base. You may ask a question, why the acid is getting created in the mouth? Yes, of course, after eating the food items, when the food, some of the food particle, when they stay inside your mouth, it undergoes the bacterial activity. So bacteria react to the food item, they secrete the acid. this acid stays inside your mouth, and it is when it is applied on the surface of the tooth, when it is exposed, automatically they undergo decomposition. So the decomposition of tooth by the acid is only called as tooth decay. So this is what is happening generally with our tooth decay. So how this can be prevented, or what can be done to reduce the tooth decay? That is the brushing. We always brush by using the paste. So why the paste? What is there in the paste? That is what we are going to see in this slide. So tooth decay starts when the pH of the mouth is lower than the 5.5. So when the pH level of the mouth decreases, that is 5.5, 5.4, automatically the rate of tooth decay will be more. So how it happens? Bacteria present in the mouth produce acid by degradation of sugar and food particles remaining in the mouth after eating. So that is the main thing. As soon as you eat it, just goggle your mouth, and then you need to refresh your mouth. So that is the best way of cleaning the mouth. You must learn. And how to prevent it? So when the acid is there in the mouth, it can be cleaned by using the toothpaste. So generally toothpaste are made by the basic substances. All the toothpaste, whatever it may be, either Colgate or Pepsodent, any toothpaste, they are made by the base. So once this base has been applied on your mouth, it will react with the acid present in your mouth and does the neutralization process. It removes the acid from the mouth and makes the tooth fresh, and it prevents from the tooth decay. So one common base that is used in all the toothpaste is magnesium hydroxide. So that is a common base what is available in all the toothpaste. Okay, irrespective of the brand, they use magnesium hydroxide as a common base for the making toothpaste. So what is the formula for magnesium hydroxide? So it can be written as Mg, and it is written as MgOH twice. So that is a formula for magnesium hydroxide, and it is the common base for used in the toothpaste. So that is how tooth decay has been prevented. So this is the uses of a base, that is a toothpaste. I know. So the third part of the applications, how do we maintain the neutral soil? Why neutral soil is so important? The neutral soil is so important only for the plants and to take all the nutrient. The neutralization of the soil will improve the absorption of nutrient and the various chemicals by the root of the plant in a well in advance. So it increases the absorption level of the nutrient. If the soil is acidic and if the soil is basic, plant may not be able to absorb the nutrient from the soil. At the same time, acidic and basic soil do not support the chemical changes or chemical reactions what is happening with the plant photosynthesis and the different process. So that is the reason we should always maintain the neutral soil in order to give a good yield of product, good yield of plant product. That is the reason why we use the neutral soil. In case if the soil is becoming acidic and if the soil is becoming more basic, there is a possibility to bring the soil to the neutral conditions. The acidity of the soil, how this acidity and the base of the soil get changes by using excess amount of fertilizers, pesticides, weedicides, various agricultural activities which is used by the artificial manure, that is fertilizers, that may increase the acidity of the soil and also the basicity of the soil. If the soil is becoming more acidic, soil becomes acidic. It is neutralized by adding the lime powder. It is nothing but calcium oxide. The lime powder is nothing but limestone powder. Okay, and this we know that calcium oxide, it is a base. So if the soil is acidic, then it is neutralized by adding a base is called as calcium oxide. It can also be called as quicklime or lime powder or limestone. All the three things are same. If the soil is becoming more basic, that is basicity of the soil. When soil becomes basic, it is neutralized by adding organic manure like cow dung and other part of the things. So in the cow dung, what is present? This organic manure has the ability to release organic acid. So organic acid from the cow dung will react with the base of the soil, and that brings the soil to neutral conditions. So that is how the basicity of the soil has been neutralized. So these are the two different ways how we can bring the soil to neutral. and also understand the importance of neutralization of soil, and especially for the agricultural process. So this is most important one. Okay, and I have given you the a global outlook. Let us see what is the soil conditions all over the world. And I just observed, what an amazing land and best land soil what is available in India. I have mentioned, you can see here, all the red part of the soil, it indicates acidic. So the red color indicates the acidic soil, yellow indicates the neutral color, neutral soil, blue indicates the basic salt. Just try to observe, all the continent, the different places, they are most probably they have only the acidic soil. So doing an agricultural process or the crop productions in this land will be very difficult. The farmers has to plant, according to the acidic content of the soil. They have to neutralize the soil each and every time when they go for agricultural production. So it is very difficult and the soil is not supporting for them. And the blue color indicates basic. You can see the most of the US has been made by the basic salt, and some only in some part they have the yellow color one where they will able to do agriculture in a best way. And come down here, you can see the red color, and some part only the yellow color. And just look at over there, just look at the China, they are most probably they have only the acidic soil. Can you imagine? But they export most of the agricultural product. How it is possible? That is a mechanism. Then the come for the India, you can see only the few red color and the blue color part is available, but most of the part is neutral soil. So already the soil is in good condition for the agricultural purpose. So just imagine what is the soil condition of our India. So we must be so proud, and we must improve the agricultural product. That's why India's mainly it has called as an agricultural country. We can do what more? We can do many agriculture and crop productions. So this is just for your understanding how this pH play a major role in all over the world. Okay, then next we are coming to the fourth application, that is insect bite. So what is happening with insect bite? So when the insect has bite us, they release formic acid. So formic acid is a ant sting, or it may be a other honey, they inject this kind of an acid. Formic acid, I will give you the formula of formic acid. It can be written as H and then the COOH. That is a formula of a formic acid. So this mark indicates the single bond HCOOH. H stands for hydrogen, C stands for carbon, O stands for oxygen, again oxygen and hydrogen. So this is the formic acid which causes the pain and irritation. And how this can be cured? What is the remedial? So they apply the mild base like baking soda. So baking soda is nothing but NaHCO3, sodium bicarbonate only, is also called as a baking soda. NaHCO3, that is a formula of this baking soda. You can also use some of the lotions like calamine lotions. This calamine lotion has been made by zinc carbonate. It is a kind of a base. So when the insect bite us, we immediately apply some of the home remedies like applying the baking soda and then the calamine lotion. There may be some other method also. Maybe you may find out. Okay, how we get cure from this insect bite. So this when the insect bite us, it injects an acid called as formic acid, can also be called as methanoic acid. All the two are same thing only. When it is injected, we need to be treated with the base, a mild base that can neutralize the effect of insect bite. That is the one thing. Then second thing is that nettle leaf. So not only with the insect, there are some plants which can also inject acid to our body. So stinging arrow of nettle leaves injects methanoic acid, causing the burning pain. So when the nettle leaves injects methanoic acid to our body, it can be rectified by applying with the dock plant. So this is the plant which consists of a base. Okay, that is why when the nettle leaves injects methanoic acid, and it can be cured by using the dock plant. Maybe I will show you the image of this nettle leaves. So nettle leaves injects methanoic acid, and this is a dock plant, and this dock plant can release the base. Especially this dock plant is not very common in India. It is most common in US. Okay, since it is given in your Ncert textbook, we are discussing with this. There are some plants, even they release acid. There are some plants which can also release the a basic content. Okay, plants also has the this remedial for this neutralization reaction. Anyway, so that is what we saw the neutralization process. Okay, so we just saw how the tooth decay has been happening and why the toothpaste are basic in nature, and we also saw needle leaf which injects the methanoic acid and it can be neutralized by applying the top plant, and we also saw the pH of the soil, acidic and basic, all those things. Now let us move to the next part. So we are going to see the uses of a common salt. You know, common salt is nothing but it is a sodium chloride. That is called as common salt. So this common salt is a neutral salt because this salt has been prepared by using hydrochloric acid, sodium hydroxide. Hydrochloric acid is a strong acid. Sodium hydroxide is a strong base. When there is a reaction between strong acid and strong base, that results in the formation of a neutral salt. So that is what is called a sodium chloride. It is a neutral salt, and it also releases the water content. So this is how we obtain a common salt. The reaction between hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide results in the formation of sodium chloride and water. So, how the common salt can be used? This common salt has been used as a raw material in synthesizing, in producing sodium hydroxide, baking soda, washing soda, bleaching powder, and many more. The common salt has most of the industrial applications. In industry, they use common salt as a raw material to obtain baking soda, washing soda, bleaching powder, and also sodium hydroxide. So how this common salt can be used? We are going to see in the upcoming slides. So let us understand how to use common salt and broken down and to convert into a various product. So in industry, they carry out the simple process is called as chloralkali process. So this is the common process in industry. They break down the sodium chloride salt to obtain the various components like sodium hydroxide, chlorine gas, and hydrogen gas. How this process has been carried out? This process can be carried out by passing electricity through the salt solutions. As we all know, the salt is a good conductor of electricity. When electricity is passed through the aqueous solution of sodium chloride, aqueous solution of sodium chloride is also called as brine solution. Brine. Remember, not that brine. So it is also called as brine solutions. It decomposes to form sodium hydroxide. In this process, there is the formation of sodium hydroxide. We know sodium hydroxide it is a base that can dissolve into a water. So a base that dissolves into a water is called as alkali. Okay. Then it also releases the chlorine gas. So the term has been taken chlor. Okay. When you combine this chlor and alkali, it becomes chlor-alkali process. That is what is happening, chlor-alkali process. So why it is chlor-alkali process? When electricity is passed through the brine solution, it undergoes electrolytic decomposition that result in the formation of sodium hydroxide, chlorine gas, and of course hydrogen gas. Since there is a formation of chlorine, chlor, and sodium hydroxide alkali, this process is called as chlor-alkali process. Okay, in industry it has been used to obtain this byproduct. And remember, the aqueous solution of sodium chloride is also called as brine solution. I will give you a small hint how to write the equation. When you apply the electricity, we know that sodium chloride it will be 1 minute. The sodium chloride can be broken down. That is, it can be taken as Na plus, and it forms Cl minus, and since it is in a water content, it can be broken down as H plus. So this is the H plus, and it also forms OH minus since it is an hydroxide ion. And we know that in the electrolytic process there will be anode and cathode. The anode, anions are attracted towards the anode, anions are negatively charged, anode is positively charged. Cations are attracted towards the cathode, cations are positively charged, and cathode is negatively charged. So all this H plus they combine with another H plus result in the formation of hydrogen gas. And this Na plus will combine with OH minus to form NaOH. and Cl minus will be combined to form Cl, chlorine gas. So this chlorine, since it is a negative charge, it can be collected near that anode, and H plus will be collected at the cathode, and NaOH will be left out in the solution itself. Maybe in the next slides I will explain it with the diagram. Okay, so this is for the chlor-alkali process. You can just look at the diagram. So brine solution, it is an input. This is a common input where they continuously pump the sodium chloride solution, aqueous sodium chloride solutions, brine solutions. Once it comes to the chamber, you can see titanium anode and the mild shield cathode has been used. Okay, so this act as a cathode and this is the anode. Once if you apply the electricity, the salt solutions, it will be broken Na plus, Cl minus and OH minus. So all the Cl will be attracted over here. So that is near that anode. So you will able to see the chlorine gas. So the chlorine gas will be collected this end, and all the H plus will be collected near that cathode because H plus is positively charged. So it should be attracted towards a negative charge. So remember, cations attracted towards cathode and anions are attracted towards the anode. So this releases the hydrogen gas. And what is happening to the NaOH? So this Na plus, okay, it passes through this permeable membrane. So in the center part there is a permeable membrane. So this Na plus will combine with OH minus to form the sodium hydroxide. So sodium hydroxide will be given out. Okay. So that is how a chlor-alkali process works. Very simple. You can follow the first one. The sodium chloride salt is pumped inside the electrolytic tank where the electricity is applied to that. As soon as when electricity is applied to it, it is separated into Cl minus, H plus, Na plus and OH minus. All the Cl minus, they are the anion. The anions are attracted towards the anode because the negative and positive they attract with each other. So anions are attracted towards anode and cations are attracted towards the cathode. So this side the anion and another side you have the cation. So it releases the chlorine gas and this side it releases the hydrogen gas, and remaining it forms a sodium hydroxide. So all the three product has been released. So by using these three product, we are going to see how to synthesize the remaining product. So this is the a simple chlor-alkali process. What is happening? I will show you a small video of how this chlor-alkali process has been used in our industry. Maybe you can view this video on the YouTube also. Just try to. So that is the uses of a chlor-alkali process. We also saw the video about it, and we also saw the entire process of this chlor-alkali process. So once electricity is passed through them, it decomposes and results in the formation of the sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas and the chlorine gas. So since there is a formation of this sodium hydroxide and the chlorine gas, and it is called as chlor-alkali process. Okay. Anyway, so let us recall what we have learned today. So the first thing we were discussing about the pH, acidity of the stomach. Once the hydrochloric acid increases in the stomach, that can be neutralized by taking the antacids like base, which has been made by the base that neutralizes the acidity of the stomach. And we also saw a toothpaste. Why it is said to be basic in nature? Because in the mouth it produces acid. So to clean that acid, the toothpaste are made by the base. And we also discussed the pH of the soil. When the soil is becoming more acidic, then it is neutralized by applying the limestone. If the soil is becoming more basic, then it is neutralized by using the organic manure. And the insect bite. Usually the insect injects formic acid and it can be neutralized by applying the baking soda or the calamine lotion. And finally, we just saw what is the chloralkali process. When electricity is passed through the brine solutions, a normal sodium chloride solutions, it results in the formation of sodium hydroxide, hydrogen gas, and the chlorine gas. So that is what we have learned in the today's class. Okay, so I will go to the other part. We will have discussions. Okay, so this video